Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live, and thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. I was actually just live. It's so funny. I came over here and you guys were all in here. I was doing the Gemini reading for Scorpio season. I've started to do those videos, so I'm excited to get those out. There's Scorpio, Taurus, Sagittarius and Gemini are now up, and this is Scorpio season energies because the sun is literally moving into Scorpio tomorrow. So that's a big deal, and we're actually technically already into eclipse season, which is a new 6-month cycle, ending a 6-month cycle and beginning a new 6-month cycle. So these are the energies that we're dealing with right now. So they are intense. There is a lot going on. But it's exciting because Scorpio season is a moment to dive deep, to just take things to a depth that makes us really see the truth about ourselves and our lives, and makes us feel good, makes us feel like fulfilled, right? It's a beautiful and a powerful energy. But that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to do some mini readings. So the list is open. I don't think there's anyone on the list unless someone got on the list recently. I'll check it in a second. But to get on the list for today, Shannon is posting it up, Stories from the Lion's Mane. You can send $25 to my PayPal link and then choose from a natal astrology reading, natal chart, transit, progress chart, compatibility, or tarot and oracle reading. And you can really ask whatever questions you want to find out more about. What I do want to, hello, welcome, Valerie. What I did want to invite you guys to is to book a holiday reading. People have been signing up, so it will get filled up. The schedule will get filled up. But these readings are available through December 31st only. And I don't know, I didn't tell you guys yet, but I guess I'll announce it here. I am signed up for an Akashic Records certification training, and it starts tomorrow, and I'm really excited about it. And I know that I'm going to be bringing that gem, that power with me of just being in the training and evolving and expanding in my own way into these readings. So, and this is the time where the veil is thin. So this is a really powerful time to get an intuitive reading like that. And we can go into your astrology, we can look at progressions, we can look at anything in the world of astrology. We can look at the cards. If you want me to pull cards, connect with your spirit guides, connect with the loved ones that have passed on, connect with clear your energy if that's what you need. Also, we can look at the gene keys, coaching. I mean, all like just general healing. Like the whole session is going to be co-created between the two of us, and it will be a live 1 hour session. So wanted to invite you guys and let you know that that is available, and there are other holiday specials coming up. So make sure you get on my email list. That's the best way to stay in contact, to stay in touch. When you download my free moon astrology guide, you get on my email list, and the guide basically tells you what your psychic gifts are based off of your moon sign. And then I send out a weekly, every Wednesday, a moon magic report. So the astrology and the horoscope basically for the week. It's a really, really fun kind of newsletter. I call it the Moon Magic Report. And people really, really enjoy that. And also check out my Etsy shop and all the links in the description, courses if you want to learn astrology, all that good stuff. It is a very powerful and exciting time of growth and expansion. I'm actually using the Sirius Starseed essential oil or a mist. Oh my God, it's so good. I need it. Dude, I've been going all day, nonstop. So let me start a list. Let's get a little piece of paper and let's get a list going for tonight's readings. If you want a reading, like I said, you can book by sending $25, and I'll put you on the list, and then we get going. So let me just check real quick. Someone did just get on the list. So let's take a look at what we got here. Oh, that's it. Oh, so the notifications did go out. Interesting. I got them for the 2 videos I just did. Cool. All right. Well, it looks like Shannon. Let's see. Where can I find? Oh, there we go. Yeah. So let's. Shannon, you're going to be the first one on the list. And so no one's on the list after Shannon. So make sure that you guys get on it if you want a reading tonight. And let's see, today is October 22nd. Ooh, okay. While Shannon's putting up her question, I'm going to look through the chat and say hi to everybody. Hello, Melanie. Hello, Dawn. Hello, Coleman. Welcome in. Hello, Christy Ann, welcome in. So good to see you. Valerie, hello. Maria, welcome. Shelia, welcome. Don't have to know the time you were born, though. If you don't know the time, that's fine. This is a mini reading, so it's not. I can look at the day that you were born and talk about what I actually do when I don't have the time of birth. So you can get I would, even if you don't have the time of birth, feel free to get a mini reading tonight. So what we would be able to look at is mostly your natal chart. So like a basic birth chart reading. And I can talk about kind of the energies of the day that you were born, and how like some of the things are for sure in that sign and that degree, and some of the things can be in a different sign. We'll figure it out. If you know around what time, around like what time of day, like morning, afternoon, or evening, that helps like narrow things down as well. And hello, Dawn, welcome in. Hello, Sanders, welcome in. Okay, Shannon says, transit reading, but your call, what's happening in Scorpio season for me? I have North Node, Scorpio, and South Node Taurus. So I'm curious about Taurus. What's FM? Taurus? All these acronyms. Yeah, we can pull up your chart. I think that'll actually be fun. Let's transition over here. And I just saw Maria, you got on the list, so you will be next. And let's pull up the chart for Shannon. Okay. Okay. So 8775, 75. Okay, we got it. Okay, so let me add the transits here. And believe it or not, this is actually kind of interesting. Let me take a picture of this. And then let me fast forward to the actual full moon. The new moon is going to be happening in your first house. The full moon is going to be happening in your, in your 8th, I believe. Yeah, 26, because it's going to be 26, 27 degrees. So let's take a picture of that as well, so we can look at both of them. Okay, so here's why I was saying this is very interesting. It's the fact that right now, hello Maybell, welcome in. Right now, the moon is actually at the point where basically she's going to be for the eclipse. So today, all of us are experiencing a moment where we may be feeling some of the energies that we're going to feel for that full moon. And the sun is at 29 degrees of Libra, but it's going to move into in just a few in a few geometrical minutes, it's going to move into Scorpio officially tomorrow. But when it moves into Scorpio and the moon is still in Taurus, there's like a mini full moon before the full moon that's going to come, which is going to be right around these degrees. So for you personally, this is going to be happening, that new moon is going to be happening in your first house and the full in Scorpio, and the full moon is going to be happening in your 8th house. Let me just grab this real quick, because I have the list of the events that we're talking about. That new moon in Scorpio is on November 4th, and the full moon in Taurus, it's an eclipse, is going to be happening on November 19th. And these are the events that I'm talking about in the videos that I'm putting out. Sun entering Scorpio tomorrow, Mars entering Scorpio on the 30th, Venus entering her wholeness phase on the 30th, the new moon in Scorpio on the 4th, Venus entering Capricorn on the 5th, Mercury entering Scorpio on the 5th, and then the lunar eclipse on the 19th. But think of the two biggest themes for you is for anyone, wherever Scorpio is in your chart and wherever Taurus is in your chart are the two biggest things that are going to be affected. And for you, it's an 8th house thing. So let me go to the actual image of the full moon eclipse, which we can see here. Moon at 27, sun at 27. The moon is in your 8th house, and oh wow, look at that. It's actually exactly aspecting your nodes. Whoa. Holy shit. Okay, so what I've been talking about is the fact that this season, whatever is going on in your chart in Scorpio and Taurus is a sort of a view, because it's eclipse season as well. And eclipse is about changes, 6-month cycles, but also like deep ingrained, like kind of energies that are like activated. we are going to see the North Node move into Taurus and the South Node move into Scorpio next year in January. So that's what you were referring to. When this month comes and we feel, yeah, right, intuitively you already knew. When we feel this eclipse that's coming and the moon cycles, the new and the full moon cycles this month, everything that happens this month, because there's so much Scorpio and then that big Taurus moon, everything that happens this month for you in your life is a sort of glimpse as to the themes that are going to really be strong all of next year when the nodes are in Taurus and Scorpio. So for you, you have a unique thing. First of all, this eclipse being on your South Node is a little intense. Because South Node eclipses can bring up karmic things. It can bring up like things from the past, karmic situations, karmic relationships. For you with the eighth house, I think it's gonna a big theme for you is obviously changes, but also letting go and making space for a new experience. The fact that it's in Taurus and the fact that it's your South Node, it's saying, well, you have this gift, right, of being kind of present or you have self-esteem for yourself, but it's also about being grounded. So in some ways, this energy really well. It's what you've experienced in past lives, what you've understood in past lives. With this alignment, though, because it's an eclipse, it's like, I think it's going to be like a portal to really transform and change your past and then move towards your future. It's interesting though, because when the eclipses or all of the eclipses are going to affect this duality for you. And when you have the nodal return, but the reversal nodal return, life can feel kind of funky because you don't want to get stuck in your South Node, which is that Taurus energy. Like being lazy would be a shadow of the South Node Taurus. You don't want to get stuck in that. However, everybody else is going to be like, let's focus on manifesting, on being happy with what we have now, with what we actually possess with us right now, and let go of the drama. But you are supposed to learn to take more risks in life with North Node in Scorpio. So you're going to feel a little bit kind of off. But what I would do is use that time of that reverse nodal return to work on transforming all the shadow energies into the gifts, right? Into gifts, into moments where you transform that information and you let it go. You release it. And then you ascend into a higher kind of frequency, or you lift yourself out of the shadows into the higher frequencies. But this eclipse is going to be a big, it's a cycle that begins for you in the 8th house, which means death, change, transformation in your life. And it's exactly on your nodal axis. So it is a big deal. I think there's going to be a lot that comes through, but I also feel like it's going to be a very exciting thing because this is a Pleiadian eclipse. So channeling Pleiadian energy on that day is going to be really important to stay on that higher frequency. But yeah, super powerful information there. All right, let me write down Maria's name. You are next. Feel free to put up your question. And if you want to get on the list, you can send $25 to my PayPal. And yeah, exactly. I know it's going to be something for sure. And then I'll put your name down. So we've got Maria and there's nobody after Maria. So there we go. And thanks for hanging out tonight, you guys. I really appreciate your support. There's so much going on, you guys. I just did an interview with, hey, Rebecca. I just did an interview with Vanessa from, I think it's STARSEED Collective on Instagram. I shared a story of hers. And it was beautiful. She's actually my Akashic Records certification teacher. And it was really beautiful to have a conversation with her. And I'm going to be uploading that podcast, I think, like by tonight, and then sending out the email tomorrow. So maybe look out for that if you're interested in knowing a little more about the Akashic Records and what they are. All right, here's Maria's question. I have a belief that a cousin made a shady deal that although this side of legal is morally wrong, that shorted the other cousins in an interference. So did she? And if so, do I try and forgive? So you want to know if that actually happened, if what you think happened actually happened. And if so, do I try and forgive her? That part of the question is really personal. Because you have to ask yourself, even if she did or she didn't, would I forgive? That's a personal thing. But we can see what messages and what guidance the cards want to bring you about this specific situation, and then it'll give you insight into how to respond to what you are dealing with in terms of your cousin. So I'm going to pull 5 cards. We're going to do intuition, challenge, overall theme, wisdom from the ancestors, and animal spirit to guide you through this situation. So what does Maria need to know in this moment? What is the overall theme of what's happening here? All right. And wisdom from the ancestors. What do you want to tell her about this situation? Okay. I watched the Taurus video earlier. Okay. Your sun is in Taurus and the relationship aspects brought this up for me. Oh, okay. Very interesting. Very interesting. Hello, Anne. Welcome in. Oh, inheritance. Made a shady deal that although this side of legal is morally wrong, she shorted the other cousins in an inheritance. Okay. All right. So let's see what the cards want to tell you. So you've got... Oh, that's so interesting. Let me show you the cards. 7 of Cups, 2 of Wands, but it's reversed. The Moon, Major Arcana. Queen of Pentacles upright, and then the Deer. So the first card that comes up, which is the 7 of Cups, and this is upright. It's about choices. It's also about imagination. So seeing so many things in front of you. It can also be about wishing. But the word choices is really what stands out for me with your situation. And it reminds me of you trying to figure out something that you're not like exactly sure of that actually happened, trying to figure it out and coming up with different sort of options for yourself. Like, well, maybe this happened, maybe that happened, trying to figure out why, asking yourself why. And you have a lot of choices in this situation in terms of, and it's confusing because unless you know something for sure, then obviously you're just making assumptions. And when we make assumptions, that is when it gets really tricky. And a lot of times taking action based off of assumptions is never a good thing. So I do feel this sense of, there's not enough clarity here. And so you need the clarity to make a decision like that. You know, you need the clarity to know how to respond to a situation. And the Two of Wands, in this case, it is reversed, although these cards have the reversal, basically a different sort of perspective on the picture. Normally we see him looking out on the horizon and he's observing things. But when this Two of Wands is reversed, the energy is unrealistic. It's stifled. And because it's unrealistic, it causes you to slow down. It causes procrastination. I think that when we look at the upright version of this Two of Wands, we see discovery, we see decisions, we see planning. But the opposite is there's no forward movement. And why isn't there any forward movement? It's because there's too much fog. The Seven of Cups can be like there's a fogginess. You don't really know which direction to go. And that itself is causing you to slow down. And that's why this Two of Wands in reverse is actually in the challenge position, because that's your challenge. What's going on overall, like underneath the surface, we're doing mini readings, Maybell. Underneath the surface, what's going on is the moon. This is the overall theme. And so there's a fear. There's some kind of fear that is hidden here. And it could be, it's a fear that you have, a fear of the unknown, maybe. The unknown being represented by the Seven of Cups. The Two of Wands being reversed, represented by the stagnation. And then the fear. And so what really you need to do is face the fear. There's a fear of whatever, like families hurting other family members. There's some kind of belief system, and there's something about the situation has stirred you up from deep within. And it is a fear and something that's connected and linked to somewhere it started, the fear started. And I think it would be wise to look into what is really triggering, this whole, like, why would you put so much energy into it? You know what I'm saying? Why would you give it so much power? And is it something, it's almost like the choice to give it attention itself. There's something there because it's triggering something within you that maybe is really bringing to light. I mean, we're about to move into Scorpio season. Something about you. And maybe this whole thing has nothing to do with your cousin, but everything to do with what's coming up for you. And it's an opportunity for you to watch this process. The card that you get for the wisdom from the ancestors is the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles, well, she has to do with the energy of being grounded. She is the Queen of Pentacles, which is the earth element. She's very protective. She's very generous, and she's very motherly. And the reason that this is significant for you right now is the link to the animal card that you got. And the fact that she has Empress vibes as well. So the connection to the earth. So the groundedness is the deer. I feel that I allowed her to take advantage of me because I was a trusting person and don't feel like I can trust her going forward. I feel like a fool. So that is that. So everything, I was just talking about this in the Moon Goddess training about how things show up in our lives and we are given the opportunity to see something, to learn something, right? And whatever happened came up because you needed to see something from it. I'm sure you understand that at a basic, general level. At the same time, however, it really isn't, nothing is really about the other person. Nothing is. And that's something that's really important. If you want to, it's really hard to not take things personal when you feel hurt. At the same time, there is also a wisdom in really not taking things personal for reals and letting it go, just because that only hurts you and damages yourself, because this person doesn't know how you feel inside. Only you are in charge of your internal world. Only you know how you feel inside. So is it worth it? Like putting so much focus and energy. So I would say make a decision as to what you want and then move forward. And don't let it linger, because the more it lingers, the bigger it gets, the more uncomfortable you get. And like your gut feeling tells you what you need to do. Like continue to talk to this person or cut them off. You know what the answer is. It's the giving it too much attention that makes it bigger than it needs to be. The Empress, or not the Empress, the Queen of Pentacles, but then the Deer. So the Deer card is about being loving, intuitive, graceful. It's the energy of the mother. These two cards are kind of linked together. The Deer represents the feminine aspects of earth energy. This energy is available to all creatures, regardless of gender, but is especially potent in new parents. During the first few days, they are fully present, nurturing, and calm. Their inner beauty radiates, and a sense of grace calms the room. A Deer personality affects others in this way, drawing them toward a quiet tenderness. The Deer card may appear when a birth or a celebration of new life draws near, or when a situation calls for absolute gentleness and compassion. That's a powerful message right there for you. When a situation calls for absolute gentleness and compassion. It's about being receptive, compassionate, and nurturing. But I feel you need to be compassionate towards yourself. This isn't about the other person. I don't feel like it is at all. This is about being compassionate towards you and not blaming yourself for what happened, because it happened, and seeing that and then being like, okay, well, how can I advocate for myself better next time? You see how there's hidden meanings underneath this? Because if what happened made you feel taken advantage of, sometimes we create situations in life because the actual experience of it is the teacher. That's what I was talking about with the Moon Goddess training, is that you have to look at everything in your life as it's teaching you something. It is your teacher. In that moment, that situation is your teacher. So seeing it with grace and openness is going to change your whole perspective of it. But there's something here. What I see in this situation is, if you feel taken advantage of, then that's a habit. That's a cycle that you are learning to break by putting yourself in situations, not consciously, subconsciously, that will cause you to wake up and snap out of it and say, okay, where am I not advocating for myself here? Why would I be taken advantage of? Where have I not trusted my gut instinct that told me doesn't feel right? Where did I let someone talk me into something that I didn't want to do? You got to bring it back to you. And regardless of what happens with that person, you need to make a decision to advocate for yourself. That's what you're learning. And you need to be gentle with yourself. And you need to be compassionate with yourself through the process. So it's not about getting angry about what you did or didn't do, or getting angry at someone else. It's, what did I learn from this? I received something. We always give and receive. And when we realize that we really are the ones that manifest things in our lives because we want to learn something, then the whole world, our whole perspective changes on life. So whether this happened or not, what is coming through is that there's something coming up for you, and you need to look at that. Honestly, look at that. There's a fear here. There's a fear that somebody pushed that button and it brought it up for you. And now you're left, feeling whatever feelings you're feeling from that situation. So time to wake up, look at what happened, ask yourself, how can I advocate for myself in the future instead of allowing something like this to happen? And then start moving forward in the direction that you actually want to go in life instead of focusing so much on the past and on things that you can't resolve them anymore. That's what's coming through with the cards. So gentleness, grace, nurturing for yourself is what is truly needed. This makes so much sense, and actually did a big, powerful forgiveness meditation today. And yes, I do need to trust my intuition more. Yes. Beautiful. I love to hear that. And thank you so much for getting a reading. I appreciate that very much. And I hope that this brought you some insight as well. And I think that is so far everyone that has gotten a reading. If anyone else wants to get a reading tonight, you can send $25 to my PayPal link, and then I'll add your name to the list. But there's no one on the list right now, so whoever signs up next is automatically on the list next. Let me just check out what's going on in the chat a little bit. You're welcome, Maria. You're welcome. Yeah, Maybell, if this is your first time watching this broadcast, I do mini readings every Friday. For me, it's Friday evening. I don't know what it is for you, Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon. But I do mini readings and literally look either tarot, or we can look at your own personal chart. That is what this video is all about. But yes, it's exciting energy. Aloha, Rebecca. Well, all good. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. And Stories from the Lion's Mane is posting up the link to sign up if you want to sign up. We'll just chill and hang out in the chat. I can just kind of share with you some of the stuff that I am working on. For one, okay, we just got a payment from Valerie. So go ahead and put up your question, Valerie, when you're ready. And I got your name on the list. So some of the things that I've been working on is, you guys have seen the video start coming out for Scorpio season. The sun is like almost into Scorpio, and you're going to feel the shift. Let me tell you, you're going to feel a powerful shift. Right now, I think the sun is on my Pluto, illuminating my power. Because I have Pluto towards the last degrees of Libra. And I think I feel really good today. It's been a really, really good energy. Valerie, I got your payment and you're next, so feel free to put up your question. But yeah, so the energy will shift. You'll notice it tomorrow. But I think it's going to be an exciting change and a really, really, really powerful season that is upon us. Nice. I love that. Shannon. That's awesome. Tomorrow, we're going to have an epic lecture for the Moon Goddess training. I can't freaking wait. I was thinking of looking at the full moon eclipse. Yeah, that's a good one to look at. We can totally do that. Let me transition over to here. Get this shared out. And then we got another payment from Holistic. After Valerie is Holistic, whoever that is in the chat. And let's put new natal chart. Okay, awesome. So let me put your name down. Okay. Cool. All right. So let's pull up Valerie's chart. Okay. Let me make sure I got it right. 9/11/58, 8:32 a.m. Fort Wayne. And let's add the transits to this, and then let's fast forward. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. It's going to be exactly on your Mars. The eclipse. It's going to be in your 8th house, just like Shannon. And it's going to be on your Mars. So you were saying earlier today that you had Mars in Taurus, and here we are talking about your Mars in Taurus. That is super interesting. So let's see what we see. Okay. All right. Can you guys see the chart? Yeah, I'm sure you can. But this is where the eclipse is happening. So the biggest theme is in 8th and 2nd house, because the sun will be in the 2nd house and the moon will be in the 8th. So the theme, beyond everything that I talked about for the Taurus like energy, or it wasn't Taurus rising. It was, no, I haven't done Libra yet, but I'll talk about this. So we're going to do Valerie's reading, and then we're going to do yours, Maybelle, you're after. So just hold on a second. And, yeah, exactly. We'll get to you in a second. You're going to have to put up your question again, when I call you. So, all right, here we go. So here's the big deal for you, is that it is going to be on your Mars. So Mars in the 8th house is actually very strong for you because it is in his home house. So this is scorpionic energy that's coming through, right? That's about death, change, transformation. So the eclipse itself will begin a 6-month cycle for you that will initiate change, but it'll also activate your Mars. And Mars, what Mars represents is drive, motivation. For you, generally, because Mars is in Taurus, you move slow. I don't mean that as an insult. It's just Mars in Taurus. Mars in Taurus really takes its time. It doesn't worry about being late and things like that. Like it prefers to take action methodically when it feels good. It's another thing about Taurus, has to feel good. And a lot of the focus of your drive and motivation is really about making sure you have all like the things that make you feel comfortable. That's really what's important. And it'll activate this energy to, you always finish last, but it's natural for you. And that's what feels comfortable for you. And that's what's important. But it does say that it does have a strong Scorpio energy as well. And the moon in the 8th house will also initiate change, except with Mars here, maybe you'll be the one that initiates the change. Maybe you'll be the one that gets inspired. The moon just shining a light on your Taurus, like, hey, what do you want to do next? How do you want to take action next in your life? Because Mars is about taking action. So something about this full moon is going to help you to start taking action in some way to maybe initiate change. Maybe if you've been resisting, because I think Mars and Taurus can also resist some change. If you have been resisting change, it'll be like, all right, enough is enough and it's time. It's time to do this. And it'll really shine a light in those areas where you have been resisting moving forward. And it'll shine a light in those areas where you have been neglecting taking action. So it may not feel good, But always we have to remember that 8th house transits are endings that lead to new beginnings. And in the end, we'll feel so much better that we listened and that we paid attention to this. But that's the big deal that's happening for you here. This is also a Pleiades activation, like I said. So a Pleiadian portal, moon portal. And that is about connecting to our heart space. It's heart, Christ consciousness frequency. It is about the higher centers as well. Intuition, humanity moving into the higher dimensions. The 6th dimension is basically ruled by the Pleiades, or guarded by the Pleiades, and it's pretty high up there, because you've got the 3rd, the one that we're in, we've got the 4th, which is the canopy, we've got the 5th, which is like the heart center consciousness, and then there's the 6th dimension, which takes it even further. But the 5th and 6th dimensions are Pleiadian energy. It could be that the 5th dimension is the Pleiades, because that was the heart consciousness. But it is about the evolution of humanity. So collectively, I mean, it's beautiful, I think, that you have your Mars right there, because it'll activate you to take action to what it is that you're passionate about, because that's Scorpio energy, that's 8th house energy, what you're passionate about. And in order to also shine your own light, because the moon illuminates, to shine your own light so that you can like affect the world as well, just by being at a higher state of mind, higher state of body and spirit. So all of that. But that's the main thing, is it's happening in your 8th house. And that's what you got to remember. The next 6 months, things will start to shift and change, just like they have been changing for the last 6 months, and we're closing that cycle. A whole new one will begin with the theme of, okay, well, this time it's about letting go. Letting go, transforming. Remember, eclipses are revolution time. Big changes in our lives. And the moon can be a more of an internal revolution. So really beautiful, actually. I think it's a really powerful energy. Thank you for getting a reading, Valerie. All right, Maybelle, it's your turn. So go ahead and put up your question, and whether you want me to look at your astrology chart, or whether you want me to look at your just the cards and do a tarot reading. We should probably, I'm looking at your question right now because you had just posted it, wondering where I am on terms of progress on my, you're welcome, Valerie, on my soul's mission. Ooh, there's a lot of ways to answer that question. Dude, I wish I could do an Akashic Records reading with you. Soon enough. Let's think about it. What should we do? I know we'll get a lot of deep, like soulful messages if we look at the cards, but I also know that looking at your progress chart would also be fun for this question. So you choose tarot or progressed chart reading. I think she might be delayed. Let's see if I can type something in the chat. Okay, there we go. We'll see if those instructions are clear. So while we wait for Maybelle to respond, let me go check PayPal real quick one more time. And maybe we can keep chatting about this crazy freaking Scorpio season. I'm like, I can't even believe it's happening. Like, seriously, can't even believe it's happening. Oh, I was telling you guys about my podcast. There's a new podcast episode coming out with my teacher from the Akashic Records training. And she's an amazing human being. I shared a story with her on Instagram, and one of her stories on Instagram, and I am just like so excited. And I've noticed in the last like few months or so that there are so many changes happening in my life, and also a lot of changes that are just like causing like havoc in the most amazing of ways in the world and in my own personal life. All right, so let's share this. Let's do your progress chart. Have we done your progress chart before? Have we done a reading for you before? I can't remember. And we just got a payment from Stephanie. So you're next, Stephanie, after this. All right, let's pull up your chart. (9/15/81). Oh, do you know the time you were born, Maybelle? If you don't know the time, you won't be able to do the progress chart. Because the progress chart is like very specific to the time that you were born. I'll keep adding. I'm so confused. Okay, yeah. The city is San Salvador. The country is El Salvador, right? Or is it the opposite? We'll see what the system says. Jupiter in Taurus? What house? Leo and Scorpio. Well, I mean, Leo is the lion. Scorpio is the scorpion. And they are both royal fixed stars, Regulus and Antares. And they're one of the four main energies in the tarot. They're both fixed signs. I believe they square each other. They have similar energies and they don't at the same time. Yeah, it's the fixed royal star. So Leo, Scorpio, Pisces, or Aquarius / Pisces, and Taurus is the other one. So the bull, the lion, the scorpion, and it's not the fish, but it's like the water bear. The air. We lost Maybelle. Okay, are you watching on time, Maybelle, or are you on a delay? All right, hang on. So what time were you born? Okay, here we go. All right, there we go. I believe, okay, so September 15th, 1981 at 4, oops, let me try this again, 4 a.m. in El Salvador, in San Salvador. Okay, there we go. Now we can do your progress chart, which is actually really exciting. Secondary progressions for today. Let us take a look at what we got. Okay, give me 1 second. Ooh, that's cool, Dawn. That means a lot of abundance. That's a lot of abundance. All right, let me check the PayPal list real quick. I know a couple people sent payments. So we've got Stephanie. After we're gonna do Maybelle's reading. After Maybelle is Stephanie C. And after Stephanie C, it's Stephanie V. Okay. All right. So be ready with your question, you guys. And wait until I call on you to put it up. Like type it up and do copy and paste when it's your turn. So if you want astrology, I'm going to need the location and time and date that you were born. If you want tarot, just say Tarot Oracle and post your question. So let's get back over here now, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, here we go. Progress chart. This is actually going to be really exciting. So I love doing the progress chart readings. They're like so much fun because of everything that is revealed. So let's see. Your progressed sun is in Scorpio. And your progressed moon is in Libra. You were born with a sun in Virgo, moon in Aries. So these are very different energies than what you're used to. But here's the coolest thing, is that right now you are at the balsamic phase in your life, the dark moon. Let's talk about that. You are getting ready for you're getting ready for, I'm just going to go through and just talk and not look at the chat. You're getting ready for a new moon cycle. So let's find out when that new moon cycle is happening. We're going to go forward a few months. One, two, three, four. Okay, so you're about to enter the balsamic phase, but the important thing is these next 2.5 years are really about releasing and letting go. I'm going to grab my book in a second and read to you because I love the explanations in the book. But then when you have your new moon, that will happen in 2024. February of 2024 is when the new moon cycle is going to start. So you get an opportunity to prepare for it. And that is very significant. All right, so let's talk about the balsamic moon, which is the phase that you're entering into. This is the hardest phase. And so it doesn't surprise me that you're asking the questions, where am I at in my soul's journey? Where am I at? Because right now you're literally dying to become new. That's really what it's about. This is the last phase of the cycle. For most of us, this closing lunar phase will occur in the same house and sign as that of the new moon, which started the beginning of the cycle. Calmness and security are the hallmarks of this phase as the individual releases the old cycle. Friends change. Old papers stored for years are tossed out. The very foundation stones of your life start to develop cracks, resulting in the need for many things to change in your world. This is the clearing of the old ground to make sure that there is room in your life for the new cycle to come in, because the new moon is a new cycle. You are future-oriented rather than preoccupied with the here and the now or the past. It is a time of release. If something wants to leave your life, Let it go, for its space will be filled with the seeds of the new moon. This can be the hardest lunar phase of all, as we are conditioned to keep our lives full. This phase is about clearing a space. As this space opens up, you may panic, fearing that there is something wrong. We are taught to believe that it is unnatural to pull away from so many things, to eliminate so much from our lives for no apparent reason, a seeming whim. If the clearing is resisted, then the cosmos will take charge and you will experience an uncontrolled exodus of people and things from your life. So it can be a very difficult phase to go through, but that's the phase that you have, that you're entering into. So you need to trust in the release. You need to trust in the letting go. Having the moon in Libra, so this is for the next 2.5 years. The next 2.5 years is what I just read. So from the introverted position and craft of Virgo, you start to relax your vigil and your constant striving for practicality. You start to feel that balance and flow are greater assets than precision. You desire the smoothness of life rather than its correct procedure. You reemerge from the cocoon of self-oriented ideas and encounter others with whom this smoothness can be generated. Social, relating, communicating. These are the instinctive desires of a Libra moon. However, you're going into the balsamic phase. So this is interesting because you're going to desire social interaction. At the same time, you're going to feel like you want to retreat. So it's going to challenge you quite a bit these next 2.5 years. But that's where you're at in your journey. You were born with your North Node in Leo, South Node in Scorpio. And interestingly enough, I mean, this is something else we can look at. I haven't seen this yet in a progressed chart, but hey, why not? At some point, your North Node moved into Cancer in your progressed chart. And your South Node moved into Capricorn. So what is your destiny? And that's why you might feel confused, because for the longest time, you may have felt like you had one destiny, right? North Node in Leo, which was to have fun, to enjoy life, to just, live life in general. But then something changed about that. And you no longer desired that. And it happened around when you were 10 years old. When you were 10 years old, something shifted in you. And now what your life purpose is, it's always Leo. It's always to learn to have fun and shine your light. That's a big part of it. To also activate your intuition, your psychic abilities, to trust your intuition, to explore the realm of the divine, of the spiritual. You're on a spiritual journey. But then when the North Node in your progress chart entered into Cancer, this was also about you desiring more nurturing in your life. You may be desiring to focus on family, and that was different for you, to focus on being home and growing and expanding that energy of what being home really means to you. This is also the moon energy, Cancer, and the high priestess. And so priestess energies, the goddess, the moon goddess, right, is a big part of your progressed North Node, which tells me that you are on a very powerful spiritual journey to discover who you really are at a deep level. And where you're at in that journey, you're releasing right now. You're letting go. And when you finish that full cycle of letting go, what you're going to find is that a whole new energy arrives. This is going to be in 2024, the beginning of 2024, when you see that new moon cycle in Scorpio. That's when you're going to start a new 28.5 year cycle. So this is a huge moment for you to prepare for this. What do you want to manifest? We're talking 28.5 years of your life. Prepare for it. Learn more about it. What is a new moon in Scorpio? What does that represent? What's the new moon cycle mean? What does it mean when it's in your third house? I would study more about this specific energy so that you can prepare for it in the next 2.5 years. Make a plan for yourself to begin that cycle in a successful way. And that's what I would recommend. But that's in essence what is happening for you. So thank you for getting this reading. I really appreciate it. All right, so Stephanie Coleman is next. I'm glad that the reading is spot on for you, Maybell. I appreciate it. Good, good. Because it feels intuitively like that's what's going on. You can feel it. Like you intuitively feel it, but it's nice to have the confirmation from the astrology. It's really nice to have that. All right. I'm going to stand up for a second. So, Stephanie Coleman, we're ready for your question. So we're not sitting here just waiting. Make sure you have your question ready to post in the chat. Here we go. Okay. So, well, what is the question, or what are you looking for guidance in relation to? So if you're on a delay, let me just show you something real quick, you guys. So when you're looking at the video, there's a red line at the bottom, right? You see that red line right there? So you can actually grab the red dot and move it back. So if I'm watching there, that means if the red line is up to the middle of the video, that means I'm halfway through the video, but it's live. So what you want is to make sure the red line covers the entire area of the bottom of the video. So you grab the little ball and you make sure you move it all the way to the right, and then you're watching in real time. So if the red line doesn't cover the whole bottom, what's happening is you're delayed. So grab the little red ball and move it to the end of the video, and you'll be in real time. There you go. You're welcome. Yeah, it is a big deal. All right, let's pull some cards for you, Stephanie. What is it that you want to know? Family issues with marriage and family. Let me just pull cards and see what they say. I can tell you right away. I feel frustration. I feel frustration because you don't even know what to do. It's like you're in a place where you have no idea what to do. And that's why you don't even know what to ask. You're like confused. Because there's something that you want to know about this. like there is a question that you have, but, or there should be a question that you have, like, is it going to get resolved? Am I going to come out of this okay? Is there, you know, things like that. And that's just energetically what I'm feeling. But the cards will give you wisdom to help you in your own way process what's going on. And so that's what I'm gonna ask for. So we're gonna pull the 5 cards. And see what they want to say. Your spirit guides. Let me pick up what I just dropped. All right, what is the wisdom from the ancestors? I know, I'm sorry to hear that. That's it's intense. Key and animal spirit. All right. Let me just make sure I'm looking at these correctly. I wonder if, looking to see if they're upright or reverse. Give me one moment. Okay. So this has to be reversed. This has to be reversed. This is upright. And this is upright then. I think so anyways. It's kind of confusing. It's like this is interesting selection of cards that for some reason are like super confusing me with the little labels. So hang on a second. I think they might all be. Anyways, I'm just going to go for it. This is ridiculous. Let's just talk about the energies here. So the first card that you get is the Knight of Swords. And this is in the intuition position. It's kind of interesting though, because everything that happens during the reading is part of the reading. So the fact that I was just like confused is, yeah, exactly. Is part of what you're experiencing. I'm just like channeling like the energy, and it's cracking me up because I'm just like, what the fuck is going on with these cards? And it's like, it's the energy. So we get the Knight of Swords. Okay. So what this card is all about is about things moving forward and moving forward fast. So whatever's going on right now is happening, and it's happening fast. Almost like you don't really have time to process. You don't really have time to relax. The challenge for you is the 8 of Swords, but this is in reverse. So what is the 8 of Swords in the position of being reversed? It is actually about you not feeling so sort of blinded by the situation. I think you know more than you may be letting on about what's going on. it could be that, let's see, what am I trying to express here? I think you know what's happening, but at the same time, you are afraid of what's going on underneath the surface. And the reason is because of this. With the Eight of Swords upright, you feel trapped. However, what's happening right now is that you're very quickly moving towards freedom, empowerment, and openness. When the Eight of Swords is reversed, you're no longer trapped. You trapped yourself, but in the Eight of Swords, but now reversed, you're no longer trapped. So freedom is coming at you, flying at you, like faster than you can even process it. You're opening yourself up, becoming empowered. And that is the challenge, because you're not used to like so much so fast. You're not used to it. But that's what's energetically going on for you. You also, interestingly enough, get as the overall position, it's just so interesting energies. The Ace of Wands in reverse. So this card in reverse is about delays. It's about being depressed, and it's about feeling misunderstood or misunderstanding situations. So whereas normally you would move forward with passion, things are not moving forward because there's a lack of understanding. There's for yourself. Excuse me. I have no idea where the sneezing attacks came from today. So this is the overall theme. Although you're moving really fast towards a freedom and empowerment, it's a little too much to handle. So the overall theme that's coming up is it's causing a lot of intense feelings to come up for you. There's passion, but you may be afraid of the passion. There's depression. Like I said, you may feel misunderstood. You may be misunderstanding things. There's misunderstanding in general. And so it causes delays to the fast energy that you actually want in your life. The next card you get is the Three of Cups, but it is actually reversed, I believe. Was this one reversed? Oh my God, I swear to God. I think this was actually upright. So this Three of Cups, when it actually is upright, it means that you actually have the support that you need. Your spirit guides. This is in the position of your spirit guides, having the support that you need and trusting that they're there to guide you on your journey. She's reaching up with the full cup. And the full cup is like the understanding, the surrendering to the flow of life. The Three of Cups reverse, because this could also be reverse and I could be totally confused about it for some reason, because it's just the energy of this reading, is about disloyalty, betrayal, and rejection. And that sounds more like what you're experiencing. Disloyalty, betrayal, rejection. And this is something that obviously can never really feel good. Doesn't matter what's going on. That energy is never going to feel good, and you have to free yourself. You're freeing yourself. You're working on freeing yourself, and at the same time, you either are going to, if you release and move on, you're going to break free of the chains that have been holding you, feeling trapped. However, if it's going to mean you have to let go and release, right? You can't hold on to things. You can't have it all. And that's something that is that's a big lesson for you right now. And if you are being, betrayed or if you feel like you're betraying someone else by leaving or moving on, then like you have to come to terms with what is it that you really want for yourself in your life. Because the card that you did get from the animal spirit is the Scorpion. And when you talk about the scorpion in astrology, we can talk about the star Antares. And the star Antares is the mysteries of the heart, the mystery of the star at the heart of the scorpion. When you are connected with Scorpion energy, it can be very intense, very passionate, competitive. The scorpions also tend towards isolation. They just need time. They need space. This is also the realm of Scorpio, which is Pluto, which is when the tower falls. And then you have to rebuild your life. But the scorpion is a passionate and determined creature. Their career is very important to them, as as are a few select friends. Sometimes the scorpion's heat festers and they focus on an unresolved event from the past, usually a situation where they were left feeling burned. The scorpion card says it's time to come clean about your feelings so everyone can heal and you can get back to your usually fiery but fun self. So when you're in balance, you will feel wild, free, and fierce. But if you're out of balance, you're going to feel jealous, resentful, like things are unresolved. To bring back to balance, you need to be honest with yourself and you need to employ the energy of forgiveness into your life, whether that's for yourself or others or for in general for healing, because you cannot hold on to this much intensity forever. And that's actually, that makes sense. that reading makes sense with the energy that I felt for this reading. But I appreciate you getting a reading, and I hope that gave you some kind of insight and some affirmation. So we have Stephanie V. Vaughn next. So feel free to put up your question. And I don't think there's anyone else after that, but I can check again. Yep, and I think this will be the last one that we do tonight. And thank you, everyone, for your support. All right, so we did Valerie, we did Maybell, and then Stephanie, and we're doing Stephanie again. Okay, there we go. Find your center. Watch the Kung Fu Panda movie. All right, my question is regarding my spiritual connection. It feels like dead air on the radio when I meditate or try to connect. It's been like that since July. Okay. You're welcome, Stephanie. Ooh, whoa, that was insane. You should be able to see the chart, the program soon, and then I'm going to pull up your chart. Three 13 78 940. Would you prefer me to do tarot? I just saw the if needed. I'm a little rundown from the long day. For some reason, I went straight to it. So let's just continue. Let's look at your, okay, so 3:13:78 9:40 a.m. Okay, go. And then, have we ever done a progress chart for you? Have I done one before? What's your definition of connection? When you try to connect, what are you expecting from meditation that you're not getting? While I look at your chart, I'll just wait for you to respond to that. What are you comparing it to? Actually, let me take a picture of this. Let me go back. Three. And oh, thank you. I used to receive many visuals and received messages. And this was in July that it stopped? And if I didn't, it felt dynamic. Now meditation kind of feels like flat-ish. Interesting. Well, you're going through what we call in a progress chart the waning moon, the disseminating moon. But this is a cycle. What happened in 2018? That's the question I got for you. What happened to you in September of 2018? Or that year, just 2018 in general? Something significant happened. It could have been something that had to do with a death, the death of someone or something. The release. Something that started 14 years before came to a head. So let's see, 2018. 2018 minus 14 years is in 2004. So first of all, what happened in 2004 and then what happened in 2018? Those 2 years are significant for you. Because since 2018, you've been on the disseminating moon. And when we look at, while you answer the question, when we look at what is the disseminating moon all about, it's actually, I met a person that ended up being pretty abusive, ended up marrying him and dismantled my life to move to the UK in 2018. That's what happened in 2018. And then what happened in 2004? Because what you're experiencing right now is the harvest is over. That which has not been reaped now has to be left behind. Whether this is a good or a bad thing. You are now at a stage of realizing that the lovely swelling energy of the full moon has stopped. People quite often change jobs in this phase, for all that can be achieved has been achieved from the present pathway. It is now time to examine the crop and reevaluate, to think about the current position, to extract the most from what has recently been harvested. This phase represents the first waning phase of the moon, and thus is the commencement of a more internal, reflective, and productive period that will last in varying degrees for 14 years. Thus, the reason many people change jobs is because they sense the time has passed when that job or goal could continue to offer a challenge. You are aware of periods when life is growing, bubbling, surging forward, and in the same way, you are aware of the times when that growth stops. Now is the time to use the skills and advantages gained in the growth period by manifesting these in the community. In 2004, I moved to North Carolina with my family, and my husband ended up joining the army. He deployed in 2008 and fell in combat. Sorry to hear that. So there's a lot that you are dealing with. And those are things that began around a time in 2004 where there was a new moon cycle for you and you were beginning a new 28.5-year journey. Now, 14 years later in 2018, something about that initial journey came to a head. And now you are like moving away from that. What can happen is if we're not aware, if we don't focus on growth, when the energies of growth are there for us, available for us in life, if we don't focus on those energies, what we're going to experience is like havoc, mayhem. We're going to manifest and create things in our lives that we don't even want. We think we're not bringing into our lives, but they're actually bringing them into our lives. There's always lessons to learn. But when we get to this full moon period, which happened for you in 2018, it's almost like intensity. There's a lot of intensity, and you're left sort of, if that climactic moment, if that moment of completion in your life is something that does not feel good, then of course the aftermath of it is going to feel like you didn't succeed. And if you feel like you didn't succeed, then of course there's going to be the feelings of like, you don't know where you're going in life, or you don't know what is, why things are happening the way they're happening. You may lose the enthusiasm for life and become a little jaded. You know what I mean? And so in that becoming kind of jaded, and then this process of the progressed moon where it's disseminating and asking you to just let go. It doesn't matter what manifested and the last full moon happened because it happened, and now you have to let go. You're going to move towards a cycle. Let me go to the next image here. You are also going to be moving into a cycle that is called like the third quarter moon. And it is basically where the moon is waning square. It has all the energy of the first quarter, but directed towards reorientation, the rearrangement of old skills. If the first quarter was symbolized by a young warrior using a sword for the first time, then this phase is the warrior putting a new handle on the sword, or realizing that the sword needs sharpening in some way. You start to review your situation. New ideas may start to come, but they are connected with old issues. Clients in this phase will happily take action and seek action, but it is action that restructures old skills rather than that which brings new skills. So this is the phase that you're actually moving into. It is a very productive phase. Right now you're letting go and just enjoying or not enjoying the fruits of that full moon that happened in 2018. And so there's like a heaviness, right? If that full moon phase is filled with intensity, and then you're going to feel the heaviness of the aftermath of it. And you're in the aftermath of that full moon, of that the last 28.5 year cycle that started a little over 14 years ago. And so now you may find yourself having to like let go of things, and surrender to whatever is available to you in the moment. I don't know if that helps. Does that bring any sort of, does it bring you any messages? Like, are you getting any messages from what I'm saying? Does it match what you're experiencing in your life? The issue of, having visions and, visuals during meditation, and then all of a sudden you're not having them, I feel could be that could be related to many things. Honestly, the first thing that comes to me, I don't know why, and you don't have to answer this, but I'll just kind of say something to it, is sometimes if we take medications or things like that, they can affect our psychic abilities. So I don't know, why that's coming up. It could have nothing to do with you, but that's a possibility, right? Also, the fact that you're going through a moment where it's like the visions stop, that's really where the challenge begins for meditation. Because if you attach something to meditation always, it'll always bring you back to see something that is new. Meditation is not always about seeing things and having visuals. I know that was your own personal experience, but what are you learning from the not seeing things? Because if you had a lot of visuals, was that a way of also maybe you attached something to meditation? Let me switch over back to this. But you attach something to meditation, that meditation is visuals and seeing lots of things. And then when you're not seeing them, it feels like it's not meditation to you anymore. But the fact is that it is. And it is even more powerful meditation, because it's asking you to focus on your breath. Like, stop taking it out there and bring it right here. Like, bring it back to the moment. Listen to the sound of your breath moving in and out of your body. Feel the sensations that you're feeling. Don't run away from the frustration that you're feeling during meditation, because you're not getting what you normally had before or what you expected, right? So feeling like it feels flat-ish. What feels flat-ish in your life? That's the message. Because when you're in, like, meditation can be all over the place. There's a million different ways to meditate. And one of them can be, yes, you receive the visions and you receive the psychic messages. But another one is you actually get rid of all of that. All those things are distractions. So if you're going to attach something to meditation, you will always be disappointed at some point or another when the meditation changes and your higher self is asking you to focus on something else. So so think about what's the message coming through for you? What is that? And to me, the other thing that comes up is like depression. For some reason, it's almost like when we get depressed, everything turns to gray. No matter what we try to do, what kind of colors we try to bring into our lives, they all mix together to gray. And that's from a song. But anyways, that like what is really going on underneath the surface? It's not about, I used to have visions and now I don't, so now I'm bored. It's what is really going on underneath the surface. And it could be a chemical thing too. If that was really truly such a beautiful experience for you to have the visions and the visuals and they stopped, the question is, in your inner, like, what has if that was like a beautiful, like it brought you happiness and excitement and inspiration and love and all that thing, if it was a higher vibrational frequency for you to have the visions, what is going on now where the visions are no longer coming? I feel like there's a huge lesson here for you. And I don't know if we're kind of tapping into it. I don't know if you're getting, if you're receiving some intuition from this, some messages from this, but really the truth is that there's something huge that has shifted for you since July energetically, and it's an internal thing. And you have to ask yourself what that is. And then you have to learn to let go of all the expectations. So one thing that I would recommend, I don't know if you ever have read the book, The 4 Agreements. Read that book if you haven't read it. Toltec Wisdom, The 4 Agreements. And there we go. So, thank you for getting your reading. And I would like to ask, like, are you receiving something from it? But I appreciate it. I appreciate it, you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. And that was the last reading for the evening. I'm pretty done. I'm done for the day. Okay, good. Good. And then when you're done with that one, read the 5th agreement. And don't ever stop. But good luck. Good luck. So I'm gonna end it there, you guys, because I need to go get off my feet and go relax and get ready for tomorrow. I have a big weekend ahead of me. Okay. I have a big, good. Thank you, Steph. I have a big weekend ahead. We've got Moon Goddess training lecture tomorrow. My Akashic record certification starts tomorrow. There's a lot going on. So thank you all for hanging out with me. I will be back. I may continue with some of the videos this weekend, or I may just start again on Monday for Scorpio season, but they will be coming out. Rebecca. But yes, thank you. Check out the description for all the links below. Thank you to everyone that signed up for a reading, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Sat Nam.